I won the lottery. $18 million. I rushed home, so excited to tell my mom the good news. But as soon as I sat down, she spoke up. Sarah, you're coming with me to the notary's office tomorrow. You need to sign some property transfer papers. I was confused. Property transfer? What property? To who? My mom shot me a look. Our 2 houses, of course. We're signing them over to your brother. Who else would they go to? I was stunned. Mom, 2 houses. Why are both of them going to Kevin? I should have a share in. Before I could finish, my mom slammed her chopsticks on the table. Sarah Miller, you listen to me. Everything this family owns belongs to your brother. It doesn't have a damn thing to do with you. I clutched the lottery ticket in my pocket. Fine. Then while we're at the notary, let's also make it official that Kevin is 100% responsible for taking care of you in your old age. My mom shot up from her chair and pointed a finger at my head, her voice rising. Sarah, was all that education for nothing? You'd disown your own mother over a couple of houses. I sat frozen in my chair, but my mouth kept moving. You're the one disowning me. How dare you say that? I fed you, clothed you, and raised you all these years. I put you through college. My mom yelled, hands on her hips. Put me through college? Mom, I paid for college with student loans that I just finished paying off after I started working. The day my acceptance letter came, my mom told me I was a grown-up now. If I wanted to go to school, I had to figure it out myself. I worked all summer to save up for tuition. I barely had the cash in my hands before Kevin stole it to gamble and lost every penny. My mom said he was just investing. If it had paid off, our family would have been rich. He just had a bit of bad luck, that's all. My mom's voice was still dripping with contempt. So you just grew up drinking the morning dew for 18 years? Did I not raise you? You don't care about family, only about property. You're a selfish, heartless person. I'd have been better off giving birth to a rock. My nose stung as all the years of feeling wronged came flooding back. Growing up, I did all the chores in this house. Kevin never lifted a finger. My mom rolled her eyes. What daughter doesn't do housework? You want the men of the house to do it? People would laugh at us. I wanted money for a workbook, and you said no, but then you turned around and gave Kevin money for the internet cafe. Another eye roll. Your brother was doing research at the internet cafe. What kind of information can't you find online? Why did you need to buy such an expensive book? After Dad died, you made me quit my dance classes. My mom cut me off. Are you blind, Sarah? After your father died, where were we supposed to find the money for your stupid dance classes? I broke down sobbing. But you turned right around and sent Kevin on a $10,000 summer camp trip abroad. My mom was unfazed. That's different. Your brother is a man. Men need to see the world. What good is learning to dance anyway? To seduce men? Mom. That's enough. The last of my defenses crumbled. She waved her hand dismissively. All right, I'm done arguing with you. Just be there tomorrow and sign the papers. I've run around so much for this paperwork. If your father were still alive, we wouldn't need a signature from an ungrateful brat like you. He'd have just signed it all over to your brother directly. I let out a cold laugh. If Dad were still alive, he would never favor his son over his daughter like you do. My mom was so angry she raised her hand to slap me, but she stopped midair. After a second, she let it drop. Anyway, show up and sign tomorrow. If you do, I'm still your mother, this is still your home, and you can keep living here until your brother gets married. The chill in my heart deepened. Mom, what are you saying? The houses go to Kevin, and after he gets married, I can't live here anymore? She looked at me as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. You're a girl. You should hurry up and find someone to marry already. Let your husband buy you a house. After your brother marries, what's his new wife going to think with you, his little sister, hanging around the house all the time? What if she's unhappy and starts fights with your brother? Sarah, you're not a child anymore. It's time to be a little more considerate. I sighed, looking around the house I'd lived in for over 20 years, the coldness inside me reaching its peak. I gripped the priceless lottery ticket in my pocket and took a deep breath. You want me to sign? Fine. But we have to get another document notarized. You're officially Kevin's responsibility in your old age, and his alone. My mom started to argue, but I cut her off. I don't want a single thing from this family. My only condition is that after this, we go our separate ways. My mom slapped her thigh. So you're really determined to cut ties? I raised you all these years, and you don't want to take care of me when I'm old? You ungrateful brat. I knew it. Her plan was to give the houses to my brother, and then dump her elder care responsibilities on me. Get out. Get out of my house right now, she shrieked, shoving me toward the front door. Nosy neighbors were already peeking out their doors, trying to overhear what was happening. When they saw me come out, they offered an awkward smile before scurrying over to my mom to hear her tearful story about her ungrateful daughter. After leaving, I found a hotel and checked in. I should have been heartbroken, but when I saw the lottery ticket in my bag, the sadness vanished. At first, I'd imagined what I'd do with the money. Buy a big house, get a nice car, and give my mom a comfortable life. I'd even give Kevin a few million to start a small business, and find a wife so our whole family could live happily ever after. Maybe fate saw how miserable I was and picked this exact night to show me my mother's true colors. In her eyes, I was just a daughter, a money pit who would become an outsider once I married. I knew that since Dad was gone, our life wasn't as easy as other families, and it would be harder for Kevin to get married. If we only had one house, I definitely wouldn't have fought him for it. But we had two, and we were supposed to share the responsibility of caring for our mom. I just couldn't understand why both houses had to go to him, just because he was the son. I sent a message to my boss, asking for the next day off to go cash in my lottery ticket. There was no point in dwelling on things I couldn't understand. I had money now. I was just about to get a good night's sleep to be fresh for the morning. Then my phone rang. It was my aunt. Hello, Sarah. It's your aunt. I don't mean to criticize you, but how could you make your mother that angry? She's been a widow for all these years, raising you and your brother all by herself. It's been so hard on her. How can you be so inconsiderate? I remembered that my aunt and I usually got along, so I answered patiently. Auntie, it's because Mom insisted on giving both houses to Kevin. That's why Before I could finish, she cut me off. Oh, for heaven's sake. The family property should go to your brother. Who else would it go to? You're a girl. What are you fighting over a house for? I was speechless. Auntie, I may be a girl, but I'm still part of this family just like Kevin. And we're both supposed to take care of Mom when she's old. My aunt started trying to reason with me. It's your duty to care for your mother, but demanding a house is just shameless. Your brother is a man, he needs to get married one day. Who would marry him without a house? It's the same for you when you start dating. You'll definitely find a man who owns a house, so why fight with your own brother over it? Even if you took this to court, no judge would side with you. I laughed. Auntie, why do you think they need my signature for the transfer? Because by law, I have a share in it. My aunt chuckled. Hey, listen to this girl, talking about the law with her own family. Your mom was right, you're just selfish. You'd throw away your family for a house. That's when I lost it. No, auntie. They're the ones who tried to cheat me, and when they couldn't, they called me selfish. They're the ones trying to make me give up what's rightfully mine. Why should I? Because she's your mother. She gave birth to you and raised you. My aunt, having lost the argument, resorted to a guilt trip. I'd been hearing these things my whole life. At every family dinner, some relative would be whispering in my ear. Your mom has had it rough, you need to be good to her. If it weren't for you and your brother, your mom would have given up after your dad died. She stayed in that house for you too. When you grow up, make sure you marry a rich man so you can help out your mom and brother. I grew up hearing this, and trying to please my mom became second nature. Whenever I got something nice, I'd give it to her first, and she'd immediately pass it on to Kevin. She said he was the future man of the house, that the family's future depended on him. My status with my future in-laws would depend on him. Her own comfort in old age would depend on him. So, I didn't just have to please my mom, I had to please my brother, too. Years and years of being guilt-tripped and gaslit. Thinking about it, I just hung up the phone. I put my phone down, finally ready for a good night's sleep. But then my message notifications started blowing up. My mom's family group chat was in an uproar, and everyone was tagging me. Sarah, how did you turn out like this? You were such an obedient child. Is it so hard to just sign a piece of paper and transfer the houses to your brother? Look at us, your aunts. Did any of us fight with your uncle over the inheritance? Exactly. Your mom raised you, and you're fighting with her like this over a house. You've broken her heart. My mom then played the victim in the chat. It's okay, everyone. Please don't blame Sarah. It's my fault for failing as a mother. I just have bad luck. To have a child like this, it's my fate. It's all because my husband died so young. I should have just gone with him. My aunts in the group chat all chimed in, telling my mom to look on the bright side. My uncle even sent several 60-second voice memos. I knew 60 seconds was the app's limit, not his. I didn't bother listening. It would just be the same old spiel. I was tired of hearing it. None of the younger cousins said anything. They were probably just lurking and watching the drama unfold. My brother, Kevin, must have just woken up from wherever he was, because he suddenly appeared. You fucking bitch, Sarah. You've got some nerve, trying to steal a house from your own brother. Who the hell do you think you are? You're just a girl, a money pit. You think you deserve anything from this family? Go take a good look in the mirror. Trashy women like you who try to leech off their family's property deserve a good beating. You better be back here tomorrow to sign, or I'll come to your office and make a scene. I typed a message in the group. To all my aunts, since you gave up your share of the family inheritance, does that mean you and my uncle share the responsibility for taking care of my grandparents? Before my aunts could reply, a few of my uncles-in-law spoke up. Of course, whoever gets the property is responsible for the parents. We didn't see a dime of dowry money. Your uncle took it all for his own wedding, so caring for the parents is definitely his job. Seeing the fire turn toward him, my uncle panicked. That's not how it works. They're everyone's parents. Why should I be the only one responsible for them? Two of my uncles-in-law were not happy. Then let's pull out the deeds to those properties and redistribute everything before we talk about who's responsible for their care. I jumped in on the chaos. Uncles, you should also check the family savings. I heard from my mom that my aunts have each been giving my uncle $500 a month. The group chat descended into total chaos. It's true what they say. You don't feel the heat until the fire is on your own doorstep. It was right then that my mom sent me a private message. You little bitch. I really regret not drowning you in a bucket when you were born. Ungrateful traitor. You'll get struck by lightning one day. Heaven will punish you. Because of what you said in the group, your aunts are having huge fights with their husbands. I screenshotted her message, then blocked and deleted her. Then I left the group chat. My fourth aunt, Carol, sent me a private message. She had been silent in the group chat. Thinking back, she rarely ever spoke in there. My mom and my other two aunts didn't like her. They were always complaining to me about how ungrateful Aunt Carol was. My uncle would spit on the ground whenever her name came up. That ungrateful wretch. Not even worth mentioning. Sarah, I understand what you're going through. I went through the same thing 10 years ago, but it was no use. Your grandparents gave everything to your uncle, then tried to push their elder care onto their daughters. Your eldest aunt organized it so your grandparents would rotate living with each daughter for 6 months at a time. Your mom and your second aunt agreed, but I refused. Later, because your uncles-in-law weren't happy, that plan fell through. Instead, we started giving them $500 a month. From that day on, they all called me the ungrateful daughter. Your uncle took the entire $15,000 dowry your dad's family gave us, and all I got for my own wedding was 2 cotton quilts. I stopped going back to my parents' house after that. Listening to Aunt Carol's story and thinking about all the things my mom used to say about her, I was overwhelmed with emotion. Aunt Carol, a family that only values you for your money isn't worth going back to. I finally see it now. My mom only has eyes for my brother. She had me just to give him another safety net. Aunt Carol's voice was heavy with experience. Sarah, from now on, don't worry about what other people think, and don't care what they say about you. When they can't take advantage of you, they'll just try to tear you down. I thought about it and realized she was right. Whether they were guilt-tripping me or gaslighting me, it was all to make me give up what was rightfully mine. Aunt Carol added, "Are you staying somewhere alone? Do you have money? Let me send you some. Find a nice hotel to rest up, and come stay at my place tomorrow morning. With that, she sent me $1,000. Seeing the transfer notification, tears instantly streamed down my face. With all that fighting in the group chat, not a single person had worried if a young woman like me was safe out on the streets at night. It was Aunt Carol, the one they all disliked, who was worried I had no money, no place to stay, and might be in danger. Tears splashed onto my phone screen, blurring my vision. Thank you, Aunt Carol. I have money. I'll come visit in a couple of days. I wiped my eyes. Okay. You're always welcome here. The next day, I woke up early and caught the first express train to the state capital. By the time I arrived, it was almost noon. I wrapped myself up tightly, covering my face, and nervously walked into the state lottery headquarters. After taxes, I walked away with $14. 4 million. The moment I held the check, my hands were trembling with excitement. This money was enough for me to live comfortably for the rest of my life. I declined interviews with reporters, refused to have my picture taken, grabbed the check, and scurried out of the lottery headquarters. I dashed to the bank next door. Seeing my disguised appearance, the branch manager knew exactly what was happening and immediately escorted me into the VIP lounge. Besides offering me a high interest rate, they gave me a ton of gift cards for grocery stores, shopping vouchers, and VIP cards for all sorts of luxury brands. I didn't finally relax until all that money was safely deposited into my bank account. I set aside $2.4 million to buy a house and put the rest into long-term deposits. With all the gift cards and vouchers from the bank, I realized I could go shopping without spending much of my own money. Newly rich, I suddenly had no idea what to do with myself. I was in the middle of feasting at an all-you-can-eat buffet that cost over $200 per person when my brother called. I sighed. How did I forget to block him too? Thinking about my mom's retirement, I decided to answer. The second I picked up, Kevin started screaming at me. Sarah, you little bitch, you were supposed to come and sign the papers. We waited for you all morning. Where the hell are you? You better get your ass over here this afternoon, or I'll go to your office and make a scene so you lose your job. I popped a piece of foie gras into my mouth and chewed. What about mom's retirement? Kevin completely lost it. Sarah, she's your mother. You have to take care of her. I snapped back. You know she's my mother too. So why do you get both houses? Because I'm the only man in this family. I'm the hope of this family. I'm the future of this family, Kevin declared with self-righteous importance. I burst out laughing. Ha ha ha, the man, the hope, the future? Are you trying to kill me with laughter, Kevin? Take a look at yourself. How can you say that with a straight face? My brother resisted the urge to slam the phone down. I'm asking you one last time, are you coming to sign this afternoon or not? I played his game. And I'm asking you, will you take full responsibility for mom's retirement or not? He hung up. I knew he wouldn't agree that easily. After eating my fill, I wandered around the mall. Big cities really are different. There were counters for every major skincare brand. I used the vouchers the bank gave me and went on a shopping spree, buying everything I wanted. In the end, I barely spent any of my own money. The enthusiastic service from the sales associates made me realize how great it is to have money. Before, on my salary, I had to give half of my paycheck to my mom for household expenses. I wouldn't have even dared to look at, let alone think about, these high-end stores. I found myself staring at a display of beautiful middle-aged women's clothing in the shop across the way and got lost in thought. If my mom hadn't suddenly announced that she was signing the houses over to Kevin that night, she would probably be the one shopping with me right now. I thought about how much my mom loved gold. When my dad died in the car accident, she got over $150,000 from the settlement. She spent more than $10,000 of it on gold jewelry, but not a single piece was for me. It's funny, actually. My mom has several gold bracelets, and I once asked if I could borrow one to wear. She told me those were all being saved for her future daughter-in-law. The big, flashy gold chain and Piccio pendant Kevin always wore around his neck never failed to sting my eyes. I wandered around the jewelry store, picking out a few styles I liked. From now on, I would have my own gold bracelets. I would have my own house, my own car, my own home. At that thought, my nose tingled. It must be Dad, watching over me from heaven, who helped me win that lottery ticket. Just as I paid, I saw a notification from my work group chat. My supervisor, Jen, had tagged me. Sarah, your brother's here at the office. He's causing a scene and demanding to see you. I told him you took the day off, but he doesn't believe me. He's searching the whole office for you. He even went into the women's restroom. He scared a bunch of the female employees. I figured since he's your brother, I shouldn't call the police. What do you think? Maybe you should give him a call. Jen then sent a video. Kevin had clearly been drinking, his face was flushed, and he was spewing profanities. He was shouting my name in the middle of the office, telling me to get my ass out there. In a fit of rage, he swept a pile of files onto the floor. Call the police. Now. Don't let him get away with it. Jen, I'm probably going to quit when I get back anyway. Please don't worry about my feelings. People like him need to be taught a lesson. Jen wasn't sure, so she called me to confirm. After getting my explicit permission, she dialed 911. The police arrived quickly. Kevin was taken away and was set to be detained for 15 days for disturbing the peace and destruction of property. I watched the video Jen sent me. The moment Kevin saw the police, he sobered up instantly, insisting it was all a misunderstanding. See, people like him just use being drunk as an excuse. It was glorious. Absolutely glorious. I thought about buying a car and driving straight back, but then I figured it was better to keep a low profile. I took the train back to my hometown and went straight to Aunt Carol's house with some gifts. Aunt Carol welcomed me in warmly, but when she saw the skincare products I'd brought for her, she refused to take them, saying they were too expensive and I should keep them for myself. I told her I had money now and she didn't need to worry about me. During dinner, I learned that Aunt Carol and her husband had already bought a house for my cousin. Your uncle says it's very important for a girl to have her own house before she gets married. It gives her confidence in the marriage. If her in-laws ever treat her badly, she'll have the courage to leave, knowing she has a place to go. We'll start saving for your younger cousin's house soon too. We believe in treating our kids equally, and we won't mistreat our future daughter-in-law either. Aunt Carol's words made me think of my own mother again. For Kevin's sake, she was willing to skin me alive, giving him every advantage she could. As we were eating, my mom called. You little bitch, did you block me on Messenger? I'll deal with you later. Right now, you're coming with me to the police station to bail out your brother. My phone's speaker was on loud, and Aunt Carol and her husband heard everything. They both put down their chopsticks. I'm not going. My brother brought this on himself. If he has the guts to cause a scene at my office, he should have the courage to face the consequences. Besides, it wouldn't do any good if I went. The company called the police on him. It has nothing to do with me. My mom screamed into the phone, her voice hoarse. Then go to your office and talk to your bosses. Get them to agree to a settlement and let your brother go. My poor son had to spend last night in a holding cell. My poor boy. I laughed. I'm not going. Instead of wasting time calling me, you should pack your son some clean clothes and bring them to him. My mom was grinding her teeth in anger. Sarah, don't push me. If you push me too far, I'll go to your office and make a scene with your bosses too. I laughed even harder. Go ahead. You can keep your son company in jail. My mom cursed me out with some truly vile language before hanging up. Aunt Carol looked at me with concern. Do you think your brother will come after you when he gets out? I gave her a reassuring look. Don't worry, Aunt Carol. It would be better if he did. I'll just send him right back to jail. After dinner, I went to my office and submitted my resignation. I stressed to Jen again and again, you absolutely cannot back down because of me. Do not agree to a settlement. My brother is always causing trouble, and he needs a real lesson to learn his place. Yen nodded. Wow, Sarah. It's rare to see someone so willing to do the right thing, even if it's against their own family. I smiled. Tough love. It's all for the good of the family. And one more thing, Jen. After I leave, if my brother comes looking for me again, just call the police. Don't hesitate. Jen was confused. What's this all about with your brother? He seemed so aggressive and scary the other day. I put on a pained expression. To get their hands on our 2 family homes, they kicked me out of the house. They just want me to sign away my inheritance rights. Jen's face filled with sympathy. I smiled, said my goodbyes, and left the company for good. After leaving the office, I went to check out a few new housing developments. I was overwhelmed by the variety of locations and floor plans. Finally, I decided on a condo with a river view. The scenery was beautiful. You could see the entire river from the balcony. The amenities were great, too, with a mall, hospital, and subway station all nearby. Most importantly, it was far from my mom's house, so it would be hard for them to run into me. The real estate prices in our small city were very reasonable. After buying the condo, I still had over $1 million left for renovations and living expenses. With the annual interest from the bank, I could live comfortably even without a job. I stood on the balcony of the empty unit, looking out at the vast river view. Without much hesitation, I paid in full and bought the place. Sarah, you're going to have your own home soon. I hired a reliable renovation company and had them draw up a few design concepts based on my ideas. The day the work started on my new home, Kevin got out. Aunt Carol showed me my mom's social media feed. She had posted a new update. My poor son has suffered. With an ungrateful daughter in the family, there is no peace. The photo was of my brother eating at a table piled high with food. My mom was clearly terrified that her 280-pound son had lost weight in jail. All our relatives knew what Kevin was like. He was into drinking, gambling, and everything in between. My dad's settlement money was almost entirely wasted on him. Matchmakers had introduced him to a few girls, but as soon as they saw his face and heard about his gambling habit, they all looked at him with disgust. My mom always said they just had no vision. My brother was a diamond in the rough. A fortune teller had told her he was destined to be supported by the state. I used Aunt Carol's phone to scroll through my mom's feed. She hadn't been quiet these past few days. She'd been constantly sharing articles from clickbait sites. Ungrateful daughter demands money from old family home. Angering father to death. Daughter buys mansion in New York City, but refuses to care for ailing mother. Shocking. Ungrateful daughter tries to steal parents' pension. Since ancient times, family legacy has always depended on sons. I scrolled through the posts, reporting each one. Where did these trashy, misogynistic sites even come from? Then I used my own phone to share a few articles of my own. What happens to elderly parents who favor their sons? Shocking. Man inherits 8 houses from parents, but refuses to pay daughter for mother's medical bills. Son inherits 4 houses, but won't spend a dime on his ailing mother's care. My mom couldn't see my posts, but my contact list was full of her spies. My other aunts would be sure to pass the message along. That night, my mom called me. Sarah, I've thought it over. I'm just going to pretend I never had an ungrateful daughter like you. From now on, I'm not your mother. Be at the notary's office tomorrow and sign the papers. And what about your retirement? I asked. My mom sneered. After all this, you think I'd expect you to take care of me? I scoffed back. A verbal promise isn't enough. Tomorrow at the notary's office, we'll draw up a formal agreement. I give up all claim to the family property, and I have no responsibility for your care. My mom agreed. I should have just strangled you in your crib. After hanging up, I still felt uneasy. I went straight to a law firm, hired a lawyer, and had him draft a professional agreement. All my mom and brother had to do the next day was sign it, and then we'd get it stamped at the notary's office. When my mom saw me the next day, her first instinct was to lunge at me. It's all your fault, you little bitch. You're the reason your brother was detained. If this affects his chances of getting married, I'll tear you to pieces. Aunt Carol stepped in front of me. Kathy, Sarah is your child too. Why are you doing this? A look of realization dawned on my mom's face. Oh, I get it now. I was wondering why this little brat suddenly grew a spine and decided to rebel. It's because she's been getting advice from you, isn't it? Carol, you really are something else, you know that? It's bad enough that you don't take care of your own parents, but now you're encouraging my daughter not to take care of me. You're just evil. I knew it when we were kids. Out of the 4 of us sisters, you were always the worst one. I knew it, Carol, I knew it. Aunt Carol stood frozen, stunned by my mom's words. I knew their relationship was strained, but hearing those words spoken out loud was still hard for her to take. I moved to stand in front of my aunt. Mom, you can't talk to Aunt Carol like that. You threw me out in the middle of the night. If she hadn't taken me in, I would have had nowhere to go. You didn't even care if I was in danger out there. Am I not your daughter? My mom let out a sharp laugh. Hey, you brought that on yourself. If you had just obediently signed the papers in the first place, would I have kicked you out? You could have just found a man to marry before your brother's wedding. You wouldn't have been homeless. In the end, you got what you deserved. I looked at my mother's snarling face, feeling as if I had never truly known her. My brother, Kevin, stood beside her, hurling insults at me. His mouth was like a viper's, spitting the most hateful things he could think of. When you get married and your husband beats you, don't expect me to come and stand up for you. If you get beaten to death, I won't even come to your funeral. Haven't you seen the news? Don't you know how hard it is for a woman in her husband's home, without her own family to back her up? He made me laugh. I couldn't help it, it was just too absurd. Kevin's worldview was stuck 100 years in the past, steeped in the idea that a man is a woman's sky. I cut off his tirade. Let's go. Let's get this over with before I change my mind. At the words change my mind, my mom and brother practically sprouted wheels, dragging me into the notary's office. My mom placed the prepared documents in front of me, telling me to sign. Noticing my reluctance, the notary asked, "Are you signing this voluntarily? Are you sure you haven't been threatened or coerced?" My mom quickly answered for me. No, of course not. I pulled the document my lawyer had prepared out of my bag and handed it to the notary. We have an agreement. My brother, Kevin Miller, will be fully responsible for our mother's care in her old age. And in exchange, I voluntarily waive my right to the inheritance. The young woman took the document and looked it over, then turned to my mom and brother. If you have agreed to these terms, please sign this agreement first. My mom, seeing that I was serious, became hesitant and tried to back out. Oh, we're all family. Why do we need to be so formal about it? I smiled. Exactly. We're all family, so why divide the property at all? When you're gone, Mom, Kevin and I can just take one house each. Hearing that, my mom snatched the agreement and decisively signed her name. My brother shot me a glare. Don't even think about the houses. Our family's property will absolutely not end up in the hands of an outsider. He also signed the elder care agreement, then shoved the property waiver in my face. Your turn. Sign it. I looked at the document, which stated I was voluntarily waiving my right to inheritance. In the space for the promisor, I signed my name. With that signature, my ties with my mother were completely severed. She gleefully took my brother's arm, her eyes practically overflowing with joy as she looked at the official stamp on the agreement. Aunt Carol patted my shoulder comfortingly. It's okay, Sarah. You can stay at my place for as long as you need. Your cousin is away at college, so she's not home. Even when she's back for break, you two can share a room and have some sisterly chats. I nodded. Aunt Carol, I think I will need to impose on you for a while. My mom and brother took the notarized agreement and went straight to process the property transfer. I was busy supervising the renovation of my new home. Watching the house slowly come together, the emptiness in my heart began to fill. The day my brother posted a picture of the 2 new deeds in his name on social media was the same day my renovations were finished. After letting the place air out to get rid of the chemical smells, I would be able to move in by the end of the year. While the house was airing out, I took Aunt Carol on vacation. We went shopping, sightseeing, and splurged. She never asked where I got the money, only telling me to be frugal and save some for a rainy day. I smiled and asked her, Aunt Carol, aren't you curious where my money came from? Aunt Carol smiled back. As long as it was earned honestly, if you don't want to tell me, I won't ask. Just when I thought I would never have anything to do with my mother again, she called me from my aunt's phone. As soon as I answered, she started crying. Sarah, your brother sold both houses. Mom has nowhere to live. That worthless son of mine. He's been gambling day and night, he's drowning in debt, and selling the houses wasn't even enough to pay it all off. Sarah, you can't abandon your mother and brother. Blood is thicker than water, you know. My mom cried and talked, a one-woman pity party. I had no interest in engaging with her. We have a legally binding agreement. Your care is Kevin's problem, not mine. My mom grew frantic. Your brother is about to get beaten to death, and your mother hasn't eaten in days. Are you just going to stand by and watch us die? I had seen this coming. Kevin was a gambling addict. The moment he got his hands on capital, he would gamble himself into an early grave. Mom, I don't have any money either. I can barely take care of myself. How am I supposed to help you? Besides, that agreement is still valid. It's notarized and legally binding. My mom cut me off. You little liar, don't pretend. I know you bought a condo at the Riverbend Estates. Where did you get that kind of money? Sell that house immediately and pay off your brother's debts. Or I'll come to your place and make a scene every single day. I was wondering how my mom knew I had bought a place. Aunt Carol told me that one of the contractors from the renovation crew was an old classmate of my mom's. I didn't know her, but she had seen me. She was the one who told my mom I'd bought a new place and spent hundreds of thousands on renovations. She even told my mom the building number and floor. It was a new complex and many units were still under renovation, so the security system wasn't fully active yet. That meant it would be incredibly easy for my mom to find me. What was I going to do? For a moment, I was at a loss. First, I called the renovation company and filed a complaint about their employee leaking private client information. If I was going to suffer, I was going to make sure everyone else did too. Aunt Carol told me not to panic. She suggested I first talk to the building's security and ask them to keep an eye on my front door. If my mom or brother showed up and got aggressive, they should call the police immediately. But after the incident where my brother got himself thrown in jail, my mom and Kevin had gotten smarter. They didn't come to my door to cause a scene. Instead, they set up banners at the entrance to the complex. They plastered my name, phone number, and apartment number for everyone to see. Suddenly, everyone knew that an ungrateful daughter lived in this complex, a woman who lived in a big, beautiful home while abandoning her elderly mother. In the neighborhood group chat, my neighbors were all talking about me. Because I often went to my new place to open the windows and air it out, many of them had seen me around. She seems like such a nice girl. How can she be so ungrateful to her mother? I know, right? Her mom is out there crying at the entrance every day. I'm worried she's going to drive our property values down. Someone in the chat even called me out directly, telling me to deal with the situation. We don't want to get involved in your family drama, but if this starts affecting our property values, we're going to hold you responsible. I didn't reply, pretending I wasn't even in the group. I thought if my mom cried for a few days and I didn't show up, she'd eventually get tired and leave. But not only did she persist, today she even brought reporters. I watched the live stream, and the comments were filled with people cursing me out. My personal information had already been completely doxed. Aunt Carol told me to stay at her place for a while and not go out. Once the storm passed, people would forget about it. But I suddenly became terrified. What if those people found Aunt Carol's house and started harassing her family? My cousin was in college and I couldn't let this mess affect her. So, I made up my mind. I packed my things and went to the entrance of the Riverbend Estates. The moment my mom saw me, she scrambled up from the ground and pointed a finger at me. That's her. That's my ungrateful daughter. Then she slapped her thigh and began to wail, putting on a masterful performance of utter despair. A few of the reporters signaled to their camera operators, and several cameras were immediately shoved in my face. Ms. Miller, can you tell us why you're living in such a nice home while leaving your poor, elderly mother to fend for herself? Do you realize you're violating the basic principles of filial piety? The reporters barraged me with questions, one after another. I couldn't get a word in. Finally, when they fell silent, waiting for my response, I looked straight into the camera. I waved at the camera. Here, get a clear shot of this. I held up the notarized elder care agreement for the cameras to see. Everyone, please take a look at why I'm not willing to support my mother. My family owned 2 houses. My mother demanded that I give up my inheritance rights so both could go to my brother. This elder care agreement was the one condition for me giving up my rights. Is that so unreasonable? But now both of those houses have been sold by my gambling-addicted brother to pay off his debts. And it still wasn't enough. So my mother decided to come after my house, demanding that I sell my newly renovated home to pay off my brother's debts. My mom pushed through the crowd, screaming at me, "You're lying. I never said that." Some of the onlookers were skeptical. That can't be true. What kind of mother would do something so cruel? I took out my phone and played an audio recording. You little bitch, sell that house immediately and pay off your brother's debts. Who do you think you are, living in a house that nice? If you refuse, I'll come to your place and make a scene every single day. My mother's voice echoed from my phone. The live stream's viewer count exploded, and the comments section went wild. Oh my God, is that really her mother? She gave both houses to her son, and after he gambled it all away, she wants her daughter to sell her house to pay his debts. This is insane. It's the 21st century, and people are still bleeding their daughters dry like this? I'm so glad my mom treats my brother and me equally. We split everything in our family, and we both take care of her. This mom is something else. Property to the son, care to the daughter. She really thought she had it all figured out. I turned to the reporter who had first questioned me. Excuse me, which news outlet are you from? You made assumptions about me without knowing any of the facts. You used leading questions to try and force me to admit to crimes I didn't commit, all to generate traffic for your video. Is that right? I believe I can file a complaint against you for that. The reporter quickly told his cameraman to lower the camera and turned to my mom with disgust. You old woman, you're a real master of twisting the truth. Seeing this, the other reporters also changed their tune, and the live stream shifted to a discussion about the toxic effects of favoring sons. My mom saw that the tide had turned against her and tried to slip away, but a sharp-eyed bystander spotted her and blocked her path. Someone called the police, and my mom was eventually taken to the station, where she received a stern lecture. My brother saw the live stream and sent me a text. You bitch. I'm not going to let you get away with this. I had no idea on what grounds he wouldn't let me get away with it. I didn't owe him a thing. All I did was refuse to sell my house to pay his debts. I went to the police station and filed a report. The police saw the text message and advised me to be careful and try not to be alone for the next few days. They told me to call them immediately if anything happened. Aunt Carol was also worried about me and stuck by my side for days, afraid that Kevin would come looking for trouble. Unfortunately for him, his debt collectors found him first. They gave him a very thorough talking to. They beat him so badly that he was paralyzed from the waist down, unable to walk ever again. My mom cried so much she fainted several times. As Aunt Carol relayed this news to me, I didn't show my face once. Eventually, the government stepped in with assistance, finding a small apartment for my mom. She moved in with Kevin. They now get by on a meager monthly welfare check. The fortune teller had been right after all. My brother really did end up being supported by the state. By the end of the year, I moved into my new home. Standing on the balcony, looking out at the calm river, I thought about everything that had happened over the past 6 months, my heart filled with 1,000 emotions. I looked down at the beautiful scenery before me, at the thousands of lights twinkling in the city. I couldn't help but sigh with relief. Sarah, you're finally home. 25 years, and I finally have a safe harbor. No one can ever throw me out into the night again.